Here's a quick question for you. Who buys more self care and skincare products for men? Is it men or women? Let's talk about it after this quick intro. All right, I can tell you, I don't have the official stats, but overall, more men's healthcare and skincare products are purchased by women for men. Women love to look out for the men in their life. They want them to look good, smell good, and feel good. So that's why today's entrepreneur is the perfect person for you to find out about, whether you're a man or a woman. All right, before we get into that, let me introduce myself. My name is Tia Robertson. I'm the host of Entrepreneur Insider and the founder of the Black Entrepreneurs Network. Thank you for joining me for another episode. So excited to have you. In this episode, we meet Entrepreneur of the Week, Anthony Finch. He is the founder and owner of Cognac Blac, a skincare line for men, particularly men of color that have a little swag. Don't you love that tagline? I absolutely do. Now, the reality is that while men do take care of themselves and they purchase products for their own self-care and personal care, women tend to look out for men a little bit more. So in this episode, not only are we going to find out about this amazing product line and why you should know about them and support them and purchase them and share from them, you get where I'm going from that, right? We'll learn that Anthony's target audience changed from who he initially thought would be his primary purchaser. Now, I think that's giving you a clue into where we're going to go in this interview. But stay tuned. You'll love learning all about Cognac Blac and Anthony Finn. Well, hello, everyone. I am super excited to introduce you to our entrepreneur of the week, Mr. Anthony Finch, the owner of Cognac Blac. It's a skincare line for men that have swag. So, welcome, Anthony. Thank you for joining us on Entrepreneur Insider. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me today. Thank you again.
Oh, definitely. So, before we learn about you, Cognac Blac, your products, tell us something that you didn't expect but quickly learned when you started your business.
One of the main things that I quickly learned was that you have to really put yourself out there to be marketed. You just having a product, people are not going to come through the floodgates to buy from you. So you have to really get out and create some kind of exposure and let people know that you are in the marketplace. So that was something different because once I got past family and friends, it was like, oh, who do I sell my products to?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely. But it's good that you had that support from family and friends because that's where a lot of people struggle, right? Or we get more support from strangers sometimes. So, okay, tell us all about yourself and your company. Now, when did you start the company and why did you start it?
Well, I started a company back in last November, and I started basically because it was going on in the pandemic with COVID. Prior to COVID, myself, I would give manicure, pedicure, and stuff like that. And as most people know, when that often I'll see other men, let alone black men, in the salons, with me getting manicure and pedicure. So I was always kind of into self care myself, and I would over time use some of my wife's products. So throughout the summer of like last year, I noticed a lot of my friends started going beards, and I'm an entrepreneur by heart. My background's in accounting, so I was like, let me look into this because I started seeing them growing beards. My cousin was having beards, but I didn't see that like that shine to it or that moisture that you associate with nice soft beards. Because I'm growing this because of my wife, but I knew that's something that was out there. So I started digging into more of what is that black man can use to take care of themselves from a grooming perspective, and I just started experimenting with different things, and then after that, Cognac Blac was born.
All right. Now, what makes your products unique? You touched on it a little bit just now when you told us why you started the company, but is there something else that kind of makes your products stand apart from anything else that might be in the marketplace?
Well, it's natural. Most of the product are all natural and organic, so there's no harsh chemical into it. It's interesting, like my shampoo. When I sell it, I always tell people, if you expect it to lather up like Tide or All, it's not going to do it. That's chemical to make those subs and those bubbles that we so nicely like to see. My product is going to lather and it's going to clean, but it's not going to be all over where you put a little bit on your head, it's all down to your shoulder. So I have natural organic ingredients in my products and no chemicals. What
Okay.
makes my product also different, it's I'm bringing out that confidence in us, in Black men in particular, that we have, that I think is inside of us regardless. You know, my products are named Ego, Swag, Confidence, Mystique, Fresh, things that I think associate with our culture. So that's the marketplace that I'm trying to get into, to let us, hey, brand ourselves. We wake up and we walk like this every day.
Definitely. I like that. And we kind of touched a little bit offline, but if you can share with our viewers, who is your target audience? I know you said it kind of maybe changed from who you initially thought it would be to who actually is purchasing. But do you want to tell us who your audience? Of course, they're men's products, but who else, can learn about your products or purchase them?
Well, I think the thing is, what I like to just say, I did learn a lot. My audience is for Black men, but the target audience that I learned over the last 3 or 4 months is the Black women, because women knows what they like. They know when they hug their man, if their beard is nice and soft. They know if he got a nice smell to it. They are typically the one that gonna go out and buy our products, and say, "Huh, baby, try this on," because it's something that they like. And if we get the validation from our wives, our significant other, that say this is good, we tend to want to keep using it. One of my friends told me that, no offense, but sometimes men can be very simple. We just go get something, throw it on, and we hope it works. We hope, we just go for the best. But when we have our significant others validates it, then we like, okay, I'm gonna try it because my wife loves it, my girlfriend loves it, whatnot. So my target audience is the women. The product is for men though, but it is for targeted toward women because they know what they want.
Absolutely. Yep, exactly. I was gonna say you're a smart man because you're exactly right, right? We can influence, that's why what was it Tom Joyner had that take your loved one today, and he always
Yeah,
talked to women because he knew
yeah,
they were gonna get their husbands
get a
and their
doctor.
fathers and stuff to go, yep, to the doctor. So
Mhm.
you are exactly right. Okay. Now, have you had to take any steps to protect your company, your products, your brand, since you started your business? And if so, what steps have you taken? And I always kind of ask this question because one of one of the entrepreneurs that I know, she has an entire course and series and actual documents that she worked with a lawyer to produce for her audience. And her audience is something that she has a lot of people that do something similar. Not exactly the same as yours, but she does something similar. And so she recently found out that someone pretty much purchased her course and changed a couple of things, and they're out there remarketing it. That doesn't always happen to everyone, but I always just kind of like to ask if you feel like even that's something that steps that you've had to take or steps that you feel like in the future you may have to take to protect your brand.
Well, one of the things that I am working on now is trademarking my brand,
Okay.
trademarking Cognac Blac, because it's going to be more than a skincare line, a grooming line. It's going to be more for lifestyle. So as I keep growing the company, more and more products will be coming out. So that name Cognac Blac, it will be trademarked.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, I totally think that's an amazing idea. And a lot of the questions that I ask, and you hit right on the nail on the head, is that, entrepreneurs don't always have to do everything from day one. That's something that even I'm doing with the Black Entrepreneurs Network. Things can come in the future once you get things up and running. So I'm glad that you mentioned that's something that's on your list of things to do.
Yes.
Okay. When it comes to marketing strategy, which method has been the most effective for you so far? Or, maybe if it's more than one method and you've had to change a method, what's been the most effective for you to help reach, your audience, sell your products, things of that nature?
Most effective has been pop-ups and expos. Just actually getting
Okay.
out where the people are at and talking to them one on one. Like I said earlier, a lot of men are not into self-care. They do the basic things at home, but to have a whole regimen, that's something that they are now, getting slowly educated about. So I go to where they at, which is pop up. About 2 months ago, I went to a house music fest because I'm out here in the
Mhm.
Chicago area. So
Okay.
that's what a lot of people was there, and it gave me a chance to talk about my product and why I think it's something that a Black man should put in part of his regimen, throughout the day when he get ready, go out into the world.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's a great strategy because then that way people can get to see you as well, right? And they get to see
Yes.
the product, get to, smell it, look at the bottle and things of that nature and get hands on. So I definitely love that strategy. Um, Now that actually was going to be one of my next questions about whether you participated in virtual events as well. Or if most of your traffic comes from your website. So do you just do in-person events or do you also do things, virtually, or how does your website play a part into bringing traffic to you?
Well, the website I've just finished revamping it again. I'm still learning part of the SEO and all the things that draw the traffic to the website with the Google ads, Facebook ads, and those are things of that nature, social media. So, but most of my traffic is coming from word of mouth and me being out in the public. So that is something that I'm working on this fourth quarter and definitely the first quarter of next year to really drive more traffic to my website.
Okay, that definitely makes sense. Now, where do you see your brand in a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now?
Oh, a year from now, I will have my men's cologne. I'm working on two different colognes to come out, one for the summer months and then one for the fall months. So that would be hopefully around May is my target to get that launch. 5 years from now, I think when a woman go look for a gift for a Black man, she's gonna come to Cognac Blac. Cause like I said, it's not just gonna be skincare. It's gonna we working on things like ties, golf clubs, golfing paraphernalia and accessories. So it's going to have more than just comfort skincare line. So that's what I see in 5 years. When you say Cognac Blac, you can get different things for your husband for birthdays and Christmas or those, holidays, stuff like that.
I like that, definitely. Do you see any potential partnerships in the future? So you may not know a specific brand or company,
Mhm.
but for example, does it make sense to maybe partner with, a company that does female, right, products and maybe partner with them so you all can do cross promotions or things of that nature, or will it just remain kind of a standalone brand in the lane of its own?
Well, it's kind of twofold. Three of my products that I have now are unisex. So I probably branch that off into just a strictly woman's line and then build it from there. But one of the things I do want to partner with is there's a young man that I know that makes real nice, fancy luxury watches. So I would like to
Oh,
partner with him to add that his watches to my collection. So that's something down the pipeline. I want to have that conversation to say, how do I put this under the Cognac Blac umbrella, and then we can partner and grow. So again, when you come to my website, you can get a watch, you can get the colognes, you can get the skincare, all that all in one. So there's the watch, gentleman, and also I know as yesterday I found an African American firm that makes custom made shoes, dress shoes. So that's definitely something I would love to put on Cognac Black brand.
definitely. I think that's a great idea. I always stress to everyone the importance of partnerships
Yes.
in order to, yeah, extend their brand and get more exposure for their brand.
Mhm.
Okay, we're going to shift a little bit. We want to learn more about you as the entrepreneur. I always kind of tell our audience, right? This show is a great way to learn about products that they can support, definitely share, but we also want to know from other entrepreneurs lessons that we can learn so we don't always have to kind of, start from recreating the wheel if we don't have to. Um, okay. Oh, bless you. No problem. All right. So tell us about your journey. I know you mentioned that you are an accountant and have an
Yes.
accounting background. Have you always been an entrepreneur? What made you decide to become an entrepreneur? And is this your first venture as an entrepreneur?
I've pretty much always been an entrepreneur since younger. Everybody mostly had paper routes and stuff like that, but I've always been an entrepreneur. This is not my first venture. My first venture was a restaurant catering business that I had when I was in Nashville at Tennessee State. I did that, working my last few years at college, just growing that. So my first entrepreneur, full fledged business was a restaurant business. I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur and just get out there and just grow. The challenge, and as most entrepreneurs have, you have to take care of basics, which is home first. So if you don't have all that financial backing, it's kind of hard to just full jump out there and then take care of the responsibilities at home. So I've been slowly building it. my background being accounting, my other business that I started years ago was a tax business. That was something I can do that didn't cost a lot of overhead. It was just mainly a computer, fax machine, pens and paper, and I was able to meet my clients in small offices. So I've always done that. Probably at least the last 20, 30 years, I've been in some kind of form of business for myself as well as working.
Okay. And what lessons have you carried over from those ventures into this one to help you out?
It's not an easy road. Sometimes it get disappointing, and you just have to keep pushing through it. The biggest thing I think, if you believe in yourself, I think that's the biggest thing. I always felt like when I was had my restaurant, I knew I was good at cooking. That was my trade, before I went and got my degree. But what I didn't understand was when slow season come, people don't eat, but you still got to pay those
Right.
grocery bills. You got still got to pay
Exactly.
that rent. So the thing with anybody in business, I always say, anticipate or at least plan the best you can for the ups and downs. Because when it goes down, that's when most people want to quit. But if you can stay the course, it's going to come back up. It's just like the stock market; it goes up and down. But I think a lot of time, because in our community we're not taught certain avenues on how to maneuver through the rough patches, it gets discouraging. Like when I had my restaurant, had somebody told me before I started, work with the banks and get a line of credit to extend me through the winter months, it potentially could have lasted. But when the winter months came, I didn't have no more money because I didn't have people coming to eat, but I had to pay. And before I knew it, it was like, oh, the business went under. So a lot of those
Yeah.
life lessons still apply to all my business now.
Definitely. That is definitely a valuable lesson that a lot of people aren't aware of. So I'm glad you mentioned that and shared that tidbit with us. Now, I know we're talking about Cognac Black, but just in case anyone is watching this and they do have questions about their taxes or need someone to help them prepare their taxes, are you available if they wanted to reach out to you?
Yes, they can definitely call me. My website is, you mind if I give my website?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's AFINCH number 7 at yahoo.com. If they want to text me, they can text me at 708-288-2698. That's 708-288-2698. And what I do, I just give information. I don't charge to help somebody out because I think that's one of the challenges we have. We lack the information, but then those that have the information want to charge an exuberant amount of money. For me, I just give the information because had I known what I know now, 20 years ago when I started my restaurant, it'd have been totally different.
Okay, perfect. And what I'll do is I'll make sure that I put that information, your website, your email, and your phone number down below in the show notes as well.
Okay.
So if anyone wasn't able to catch it, they definitely can get it there. Okay, so excuse me, how important, I know we spoke offline and you have a team that works with you, that includes your wife and some of your friends and contractors. How important has building a team been to your success, and what are the tasks that your team currently help you complete? I mean, I love the fact that you have a team, right? Because so often, we watch celebrities and we see these people on TV and they make it seem like they do it all themselves, and they're like hashtag team no sleep, but the reality is they are not doing it all themselves, right?
Yes.
It is not possible. And so I love when people are honest about the fact that they get support. We all need support, especially in communities of color.
Mhm.
So how does your team help you? Like, what tasks do they help you complete? How do they just support you as you go through building your business?
Well, let me say that, like I said, being honest with you, it was hard for me to build a team, to even relinquish some of the stuff that I do, because this
Mhm.
Cognac Black is my baby, my vision. And as simple stuff as the color, like I have 6 products, 3 are one set of colors, 3 are another set of colors. Even deciding what colors I wanted to, a year ago, I didn't pick the color. No question asked for anybody. What I decided to do was go with my idea, give it to my best friend and my wife and my cousin. Say, you guys pick what color, and I stayed out of it
Mhm.
because again, I had to learn if the woman likes it, and is visual to her, then it's going to be able to be marketed, not for what I as a man might see. We see things differently. So I started that process. So my wife, her biggest contribution to the company is she tells me to slow down sometimes because I can get up at
Yeah.
2 o'clock in the morning, start working on my stuff, and she like, you got to get some rest because if you sick, then nothing moves. So she makes me keeps it like a balance of what I'm trying to do. And then, like you and I talked offline, I'm
Mhm.
not good at writing. So I have the idea, I jot it down on paper, notes, whatever, and I give it to her and let her fill those things in for me and say, okay, what about this? How did this sound? Now, my other friend that I work with, Bernie, she's the person that's really pulls like the visual contents together because I'm not a writer, and I'm not a woman, so I can't speak a woman's language. So she does a lot of that, the content of it. She's working on my Amazon stuff for me, and she's running with it. And then it just, okay, what are you trying to do? Like when I first was doing Amazon, it was just one product. She came out of there and said, no, you maybe should do it as a package. You get more bang for your buck, and it's more. Men would prefer buying a package. So if you're gonna do the beard oil, maybe do the beard oil, the shampoo, and a razor. So she's working on that, and I'm behind the scenes just saying, okay, you just tell me what you got to do. But I think it is so key. But most people are hard. It's hard for them to let go of some of that power.
Absolutely. I could definitely attest to that. So that's good that you have been able to, be mature enough to do that and realize, I mean, it's your baby, so I know it's hard and it deserves to be hard, but sometimes, we can get ahead so much if we do learn to let those things go. So I applaud you for doing that.
Thank you.
Um, do you have a favorite software tool or business hack that helps you or your team with your business?
Well, I started using Asana about 2 months ago. I'm still learning how to function and all that, but that was something
Mhm.
that was brought to my attention about 2 months ago. Because
Mhm.
again, wearing all these different hats, I'm not as organized as I need to be. That helps me stay organized, so I can look and say, okay, I'm supposed to be doing this task. This what they told me, give them an image. I got to have it to them by this day. So that helps out a lot. Just for me, just when I do sit down and look at it, I know what I got to do in the next couple of days.
Definitely. That's an amazing tool. I love that. So I'm glad you mentioned that, Asana. All
Yeah.
right, perfect. And it's free. I mean, they have some
Yes.
advanced things, but so definitely thank you for sharing that. Um, Now I happen to know that in addition to running this business, you have, of course, your family and other outside personal matters. How do you balance, all of those things, a job, a business, a family, just taking rest. How do you balance all of that? Or is your wife made is she the key to
See,
doing
see,
that?
see, see, she keeps me under control, but a lot of it is because I'm very committed to whatever I do, even when I do my 9 to 5 and stuff like that. So what I try to do when I go to work, I just work, and I do that day job. And then when it's time for me to come home, I shut that down. Even though I'm in a management role, sometimes I get calls late in the evening. I literally, for the most part, shut it down 90% of the time. Don't think about my 9 to 5. What I made myself do is at least commit to 2 to 3 hours a day on Cognac Blac, whether it's late evenings or even early in the morning. If I got to get up at 4 o'clock to spend that 2 hours, like if I like, I give you an example. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday this week, I know I won't be here in town. I'll be going to do something for my son. Because that's going to happen, I know I'm going to have to probably get up at 6 o'clock Tuesday morning to work on Cognac Blac, so I don't miss the opportunity to keep pushing my product and my company forward. But I still going to have the rest of the day to be with my son and his celebration and stuff like that. So for me, I just try to, in small bites, manage what I have to do and hold myself accountable. Because I say it all the time. To me, sleep is somewhat overrated. I think you got to rest, but I can't do both. I can't be 10 hours sleep and then working on my business, especially when it's been so brand new.
Exactly. Okay.
And then
Perfect.
we make annual plans, trips too. So like we going to
Okay.
Barbados at the end of May. That's something we put on the calendar. No matter what, we going to Barbados. So whatever I got to do from my wife's perspective, get it done before end of May because we going.
That's right. I was gonna say, yeah, you better be on that plane. Don't play.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Um, okay. So what do you wish? Because a lot of people that watch the show, of course, are entrepreneurs of color.
Mhm.
But it's, any entrepreneur really could watch it, but a lot of that's our target audience. And I know personally, I'm always thinking like, I wish entrepreneurs, specifically ones of color, knew this or stopped doing this or realized that they could get this help. Um, what is something that you wish entrepreneurs of color either knew about starting a business, running a business? Like what advice would you give them? What would you tell another entrepreneur of color or someone that was even thinking of starting a business?
Well, one, I would say just because you have an EIN and a business name does not make a business. Um,
Amen.
that's the first thing. The second thing I would say, whatever your vision is, because I believe everybody has a vision. There's a company out there that's similar, doing the same thing that you're trying to do. Just kind of study it and see. We don't have to recreate the wheel. One of the guys that I try to, as you say, build my team, I'm trying to build my team from is based off of Barry Gordy. When I watched his story and how he built Motown, how he got the best of the best producers and writers and all that, that's how he got #1 hits. So as an entrepreneur, I know I'm the CEO, but I'm not afraid to get the best copywriter. I'm not afraid to get the best graphic designer. Because if I want my company to be where it's got to be, I need the best of the best. So I think every entrepreneur needs to not be afraid to let somebody else more talent contribute to their business success. It's still their vision.
I love that advice. That is amazing and spot on. I totally agree with you. Okay. So before we wrap up this interview, do you have any upcoming promotions, events? Do you have any content or anything that we should know about or watch out for
Yes,
that you'd like
currently
to share?
right now, um, probably for another week, I'm doing buy one get one free on my
Okay.
website. It's particularly the beard oil. For Black Friday, I'm probably gonna have a Cognac Blac swag bag, which is gonna be the shampoo, the beard oil, and a body wash. So that's gonna be coming up about 3 or 4 days before Black Friday, and that's about to extend to right after, maybe about 2 weeks afterwards. So I'm gonna have it going for maybe 2 weeks after Black Friday.
Okay, perfect. I think that's an amazing promotion. So we definitely will look out for that, and we'll make sure, like I said, to post, a image of your products as well as a link to your website and everything down below in the show notes. One last thing that I just realized I didn't ask you about, and we'll put it in the show notes, but I just wanted to give you a chance to mention it. You are on social media. You're on Facebook, and what other platforms are you on?
Instagram.
Instagram. Okay, perfect. And are both of the usernames Cognac Blac or
Well,
something different?
Facebook is the Cognac Blac, and Instagram is Cognac Blac. And Cognac.black is the Instagram.
Perfect. All right. So we'll make sure we post that down below. But we also want to encourage everybody to reach out on social media. Likes, shares, comments, all of those things are absolutely free. And while you're there, you'll find out some amazing products that you should purchase, but also let your community know about. So definitely do that and
Thank
support Anthony. Yeah. So Anthony, before we close, did we miss anything about your business that you'd like to share or your products?
No, not at all. I just think it's good that this is a platform for entrepreneurs to come and talk about their business and growth. I like the idea that it's a community that's helping one another because it is. It's a lonely journey. As you mentioned, sometimes family and friends are the worst naysayers, but you have to believe in your vision. Give you like a little joke. When I did an expo, a lady came up to me and asked me about my product, and I was telling her the price. She was like, "Oh, you got anything cheaper than that?" And honestly, I just told her this is not Dollar General brand. And I wasn't trying to be mean or anything, but I know what I'm creating. And I know if you are in love with your product or your vision, with it, whatever you're building, build it. Don't let no one discourage you because the way I look at it, if you want to go get a Mercedes, you go get a Mercedes. If you want a Honda, you go get a Honda. I just feel like whatever class you want to put your product in or your talents in, then let it be and don't let nobody discourage you from doing it.
Absolutely. Those are amazing closing words, and I wholeheartedly support you. So, for everyone who is watching, we all would like to thank you, Anthony, for
Thank
spending
you.
this time with us, letting us know about your company. I encourage all of you to go shop, support Anthony, contact him if you have any questions. And again, if you know someone, which you definitely do, um, who needs a skincare line for men that have swag, then check out Cognac Blac. Again, go share, go support him and his brand and his business. Anthony, again, thank you so much for spending this time
Thank
with
you.
us this afternoon and have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you to Anthony for that amazing interview. We enjoyed learning about Cognac Blac and all of his entrepreneurial experience. If you have any questions about him or his accounting services or his men's product line for the men in your life that have all that swag, then definitely reach out to Anthony. All of his information is posted below down in the show notes. Now I know you're ready to go shop. Shop for the men in your life. Whether it's your father, whether it's your son, whether it's your spouse or your BFF, get to shopping today and don't forget to share. Share his business the same way you like us to share yours. Now, thank you so much for watching this episode of Entrepreneur Insider. If you'd like to be featured or sponsor an upcoming episode, please contact me. My email is info@theblacentrepreneursnetwork.com. I'd love to hear from you. If you have any questions or comments about the show, put them down below. I love reading your feedback. As always, the show is brought to you in partnership with Relationship Entertainment Television. Have you subscribed? I hope so. If not, hit that red button down at the bottom right corner of your screen. And while you're there, hit the bell so you're notified when we have new episodes. They premiere every Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Thank you again so much for all of your support, for watching, for participating. It means so much to the work that I do for entrepreneurs of color and our communities of color. Now, I look forward to seeing you soon. Until next time, don't forget, be great. Peace.